New Year's, everyone. I am so excited to be starting off the New Year's with this conversation with the one and only Dr. Douglas Graham. We're going to be talking about athletic excellence, the road to athlete, eliteness. We're going to be talking about how it's not just a sport, but it's also everyday life and the lifestyle. We're going to be talking about world nations and powerlifting and strength, bone density, and training beyond the gym, plus some 80-10-10 fun stuff. We're going to learn more about his journey to getting him to where he is today. I'm just going to add him here. Speakers for the 2026 Vegan Wellness Retreat. So it's very, very exciting to have such... Hi!
Well, now it's working.
Yay! Hello, how are you? Happy New Year!
And you, Sarah, and you. It's a fantastic new year.
Yes, and what an honor to have this be our first conversation of the year.
I feel honored.
Well, let's dive into it. So this year it's going to be your third year joining us for the 2026 Vegan Wellness Retreat. You've been with us from the
Yes,
very beginning.
yes.
So we're so honored to have you back. So today I want to talk about how our choices don't just affect us, and what we choose for health, how it shifts the demand, and the demand shapes what manufacturers supply. We're going to talk about powerlifting, world nationals. We're going to talk about lifestyle, athleticism, and all of the fun stuff. So let's jump right into it. So Dr. Graham, you've embodied this for decades. You've not only embodied health and such a healthy lifestyle with the 80-10-10 lifestyle and diet, but also you're one of the strongest people I know.
All the
So first of all,
pound for pound.
yeah. First of all, I want to congratulate you. You placed second at World Nationals in powerlifting, and is it your second time placing?
I won the Nationals twice here in Great Britain the last 2 years. And this year I went to the World Championships. I did take first in the squat discipline, but
Wow.
overall I took second, yes.
That's
Um,
amazing.
I got nudged out on the very last lift. I was in
Oh,
first place until the very last lift, and then I got nudged out by 10 kilos. So I'm intending improving my performance for next year by at least 15 kilos.
yeah.
Uh, see what that's my intention, my heart's
That's
intention here.
amazing.
I like winning better than second place. Both
Sure.
are both are incredible honors. I mean, come on,
Yeah,
second in the world.
that's insane.
Um, I really like first better.
Yeah, and you got it next year. Well, can you explain to people what what is powerlifting? What is world nationals? Um, I think it stands out that not only, I mean, men that are 40, 50 uh, aren't able to lift what you're lifting. What do you think is the number one thing is it your lifestyle? Is it your diet? Is it that you just train more than everyone else? What gets you to where you are?
No, it's definitely my diet. There's no question it's my diet. And yet, what the diet allows for, a few different things happen as a result of that diet. One of them is that I recover faster than most people do,
Yeah.
which allows me, my training regimen remains the same, the frequency, but I can add more intensity knowing that I will recover for my next training session.
Wow. Yeah.
I don't have to hold back.
Knowing that that's amazing. So would you say soreness wise, or if you worked out really, really hard the next day, you're not worried about being sore and not being able to lift again?
I went through a few years at the beginning of my powerlifting experience where I was sore a lot. I
Yeah.
was really sore a lot. And soreness now, I would say it almost never happens. I'm
Wow.
I'm certainly training for world championships,
Yeah.
um, which is a different thing than nationals. Like nationals
Okay.
is United Kingdom.
Sure.
So there's Ireland and Scotland and Wales and England. Um, but the world is every country that fields a team.
Wow.
So it's a big deal.
Yeah.
And another thing that I found is that my concentration, my balance, my
Yeah.
coordination, my body sense allows me allows me a level of precision
Mm.
that I struggled with when I was eating cooked food.
Really?
I found, yes, I was an extremely accident prone guy.
Okay.
Like I could bore you with the amount of accidents. Um, and since going raw, that accident proneness um, really went away. It just went
Wow.
away. I became much more precision.
Wow.
And
And I
and
wonder
so
if that, so like that, to me, that sounds like your diet, your lifestyle isn't just for athletes who want to go to worlds, right? It could be a
oh
longevity
no.
tool for anti-falling. As people get older, that's really common, right? Of
Well,
older people.
it's a funny thing. And it took me a while in the understanding that I used to, or in the past, I was I was known for forgetting words, forgetting names,
Yeah.
forgetting what I was talking about.
Yeah.
This is a hard person for most people who know me now to even imagine.
Yeah.
A guy who can't keep his train of
Wow.
thought, who might look at you and say, "What were we talking about?" You know,
And it all switched when you changed your diet.
that all switched with diet, and so all of a sudden, my word recall, instead of saying, "Oh, it's on the what's that word for?" Oh, it's those animals that fly in the sky. They've got
Yeah.
feathers, and then you'd say the right word.
Right.
Now I know the word. It's
Wow.
always there, and it it took a while. The realization that that was a form of coordination.
Yeah.
And then once I realized that and I go, oh, well, my physical coordination improved, my mental coordination, my spiritual coordination, my lifestyle started becoming more coordinated. It it took until then for me to put it together and say, this diet is the most neurosupportive
Yeah.
of any diet. Like I see more neurologic improvement on low fat raw vegan
Yeah.
than on anything I've ever tried. And I've watched people recover from incurable nerve diseases, from from things like peripheral neuropathy, where the doctors say, "Hey, there's nothing you can do. Learn to live with it."
Sure.
I've watched people recover from that. I've watched people recover um, over and over and over. I'm watching people recover from MS. It's a
Wow.
I
Yeah.
think actually you have a speaker coming next
Yes.
year,
Adriana.
Adriana, who recovered from MS simply by changing her diet to low fat raw vegan.
Yeah.
Um, and and multiple things like this, all sorts of others. I haven't yet had the privilege of working with people like, say, with Lou Gehrig's disease or amyotrophic lateral sclerosis or some of the other things that go on, muscular dystrophy. But all of these neurologic things, I see everyone's neurology improve, coordination improve, precision, word recall, mental focus.
Isn't that amazing?
Essentially, what I'm saying is that the value that I offer increased dramatically when I changed my diet.
Wow. As a human.
as a human, as a
Yeah,
doctor, I went through a ridiculous amount of schooling that I wouldn't really subject most people to that much schooling.
yeah,
It was it was challenging rationalizing that much schooling,
yeah,
and yet now, pretty much, I'd say on every lecture, I'm drawing from something that I learned back in med school and then explaining it in the lecture and say, oh, well, this is how the body works, or this is the part of the body that's affected, or here's why the nerves work at 300 miles an hour and not at the speed of light, um, which is how electricity travels, and nerves travel on electricity. All of a sudden, why? Well, I mean, if your reflexes were the speed of light, you put your hand on a hot stove and you'd rip your arm off and it would go
yeah,
into orbit.
sure.
But understanding the anatomy and the physiology behind why it works
Yeah,
allows me the privilege of being able to help people with their health issues.
absolutely. So what you were just talking about, all those diseases that you've seen recover and go in remission from just simply switching their diet, most of them, or if not all of them, were autoimmune diseases that you listed. Do you think there's a correlation to like um,
Hmm.
autoimmunity in the brain, like you were just talking about?
Well, that's an interesting take. Um, that's an interesting take, Sarah. It's not that long ago that the idea of autoimmune conditions was unknown.
Yeah,
Okay, this is a new idea. And the number of what are called autoimmune conditions went from 3 to 30 to 300 to
yeah,
3,000 to 30,000. Um, we're in medicine, at least, they're calling practically everything autoimmune.
yeah.
Uh, and I think this is primarily a way of avoiding responsibility.
Hmm.
You know, I
Sure.
find I find people on a low-fat, raw vegan diet are very often the most self-responsible of anyone I know. They're taking responsibility for their
Yeah.
health, for their life, for their decisions, for what goes in their mouth, for their lifestyle choices. This, like I say, it's neuro supportive, which means that awareness increases.
Yeah.
Now, in our 20s and 30s, there's a lot of people, certainly in my 20s, there was a time where I was saying, oh, it'd be way cool to alter my awareness, to impede my awareness.
Yeah.
There was lots of ways to do that. But
Sure.
um, by the time by the time the realization came, hey, I'm going to go to medical school, I'm going to become a doctor, it's for real. I realized my desire is being as aware as humanly possible.
Mm. Sure.
Being able to recall things that I'd heard, so that I mean, this is why medicine is called a practice, right?
Yeah.
I get better at everything I do with practice, unless I can't remember stuff.
Yeah. That would definitely, as a doctor and as a human in general, but definitely for a doctor, being able to remember stuff is probably very important.
It's super important, and that's why there's a lot of people saying that for many things in the field of medicine, AI will replace the human,
Yeah. Because the
because
memory.
the doctors can't remember
Can't
stuff, and
remember.
the AI doesn't forget.
Sure. So we're facing obviously diabetes, high cholesterol, cancer, heart disease, but there's also the whole side of it of like loneliness. There's a loneliness epidemic, right? Happening. Do you
Well,
see that like it's a community issue? Do you think that like more than ever retreats and things like you have a retreat, that you have multiple retreats? Do you see that people a lot of times will come with health conditions? So piggybacking on that, they come, let's say, with MS or something, and they're coming to you and they're wanting to water fast or they're wanting to learn how to eat 80-10-10, but there's also other things that lead to these, not just the food, loneliness, vitamin D, like not getting enough sun because they live in the middle of the
Nebraska.
yes, the middle of nowhere where there's no sun in the winter type thing. Do you see that community and loneliness plays a role in this?
Well, we had 30 people over, well, about 28 people over for a party right after Christmas.
Yeah.
And it was rather fun that not once did the conversation ever go to food,
Yeah.
right? There was no conversation about food whatsoever. It was just a bunch of vegans, mostly raw vegans, happily eating a meal together, and feeling very comfortable amongst each other.
Yeah.
Uh, and in this sense, uh, next time we're live together
Yeah.
in the same place together at the vegan wellness retreat or in Texas or wherever,
Yeah.
um, one of the things that I'm always doing is emphasizing the similarities between myself and anyone else, everyone else that I speak with. I'm always emphasizing the similarities.
Yeah.
Um, this is what happened at the Christmas party. A bunch of people came together, recognized that we had the similarity of all being vegan, mostly raw vegan, and that similarity put everybody at ease. I think this is what you're asking, Sarah. So for me, I'm always stressing these similarities between me and another person
Sure.
long before I'm thinking about telling them what to do or how to do it or
Yeah.
giving them a message of any kind. Um, the vibe at Vegan Wellness Retreat this year was unmatched at any retreat anywhere in the world in
Oh.
2025. So many people came together and relaxed
Yeah.
in the comfort of being amongst people who at least had something in common with them,
Yeah.
so that when they met them on the beach or met them in the lake or met them at the dinner line or met them at the dinner table or played with them in any activity or sat next to them in a lecture hall, they already felt comfortable.
Yeah.
And then they could find out if there were other similarities or other points of view, but they had that
I
similarity.
love the way you put that. Yeah, because there's totally a difference from just loneliness and going out and being in a room full of, yes, both are strangers, but strangers that you know you have nothing in common about, or maybe you don't know, but you don't know if you have anything in common about, or going to some place where there's 250, 300 people that
Yeah,
you know at least have something in common with you.
I could be lonely on a packed airplane or a packed
Yeah,
subway car. It's full of people, yet I feel lonely.
yeah,
Whereas I felt, if I could be so brave, I felt like I was amongst my people
yeah,
at, at the vegan wellness retreat. And I just go, well, I'm perfectly comfortable here. I can be myself,
yeah.
and people get me, and
That is
I don't.
99% about what it's about. That's why we do this. That's why we have the Vegan Wellness Retreat, is it's a moment when all these like-minded individuals, they don't all believe the exact same thing.
Not
No
at
one
all.
does.
They
But
have
we have
something in
in
common.
common. Yeah.
There's one common ground, whether that's kindness to the animals or just being vegan or wanting extreme health,
Yeah.
desirous of high level performance at whatever it is they do,
Yeah.
whether it's sports or whether it's fitness in general or whether it's their own job of whatever it is, or I mean, doesn't really matter, being parents, learning, being a
Ah,
musician. I'm always striving for being my absolute best,
sure.
and and I understand average is the best of the worst and the worst of the best, and
Yeah.
and average is unappealing. It's
Sure.
just unappealing for me. So I'm always striving. Bettering myself seems like the natural way forward.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what everyone should every day. You should wake up and strive to be a better version of yourself than yesterday.
Hmm.
Speaking of striving to be better and being elite, and yeah, at the 2026 vegan wellness retreat, you pulled, was it 315 at the deadlift competition?
Yes.
315. So that's just mind blowing to me, first of all. 315 pounds. Um, and then you said worlds or nationals?
At
You,
at nationals, it was it was 145 in kilos. It's about 220. I'm sorry,
that's
320, about
320.
320.
So you
Yeah.
even beat yourself there.
And
And
then at Worlds, I got 333.
so look at that. You're already bettering yourself each and every
Oh,
time you
yes.
go to compete. That's
Yes.
amazing. So in 2026, you're going to do even better is your goal, right? And
Yes.
we've moved it to the next level. So the deadlift competition was so much fun. People really enjoyed it. Even the spectators. We had a whole audience. It was a lot of fun. So this year
I'm
we're
thinking
doing,
I'm thinking 350 is possible at the Vegan Wellness Retreat. For me,
that would be
I'm
incredible.
thinking 350.
That'd be incredible. So we're doing a lift of the day, and that's going to be so exciting. So we have deadlift, dead hang, and pull up um, competition, and it's going to be a men's and a women's, and there will be
Fantastic.
prizes this year,
Yep.
$50 gift cards, so you get a
Woohoo.
little bit of encouragement, and we'll have a podium, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Um, so everyone, start training for that.
Yeah, really. Start training.
Yes, and yeah, I'm really excited for that again. So this year is going to be our largest retreat. Yeah, I mentioned at the beginning that Dr. Graham's been with us. Oh, and Bench Chase. Thank you. Chase said, and Bench. I forgot about Bench. Um,
And bench. Ooh,
Chase has been with or Chase, Doug, Dr. Graham has been with us for all three of our retreats. And this is going
yep.
to be the biggest one yet. We started out at like 65 people. And now we're expecting 350 plus this year.
Good sign.
Um, yeah. And yeah, we're just so grateful that he's joining us. This year, he's going to be doing a couple of new things, as well as the
Mhm.
things that we keep bringing him back for that everyone loves. Um, so obviously, he's going to be giving his world-renowned lectures. So he's going to do two amazing lectures. Also, his what I call Doug workouts. Super
Yes.
fun for anyone who's been able to join in on those and do those, you'll know what I'm talking about. They're just very unique and a lot of fun. It's
Very.
almost like a game. And then this year we're bringing in what I'm calling conventional workouts. So they'll be like first thing in the morning for people who are used to going to the gym and doing more of like a circuit. So you'll get to do more of a circuit
Exactly.
style workout. We're going to do a pool workout again. That was a lot of fun. I didn't get to do it, but I saw obviously you guys
People had
doing
a
it.
blast. People had a blast in the pool.
That was fun.
Hmm.
And then, something we're doing this year that we've never done before, and I'm really excited for. We're having a doctors only panel. So Dr. Doug will be on that, and that will be really awesome to get not only knowing you're going to a Q&A where you get to ask people who have a lot of knowledge, but specifically doctors who went to school for this and then have learned way more, I'm sure, out in the real world than you had in like medical school as far as nutrition goes, but like
I'm
also having
sure
that
that will be
medical.
a very lively time.
Yeah.
And just as I'm scrolling through, I got to at least say hello, Eduardo. Great seeing you, man. I look forward to seeing
Jose
you
Eduardo
at
here.
Vegan Wellness Retreat. Yes.
Yay. Yes, Dr. Carrasco will also be on that panel. So that's awesome.
Good.
Um, so let's see what anyone else has said. I should probably check that. Let's see. So Rainbow Water said three things. So our brains are the first organs to suffer the effects of dehydration. I was coming out of depression when I discovered living foods and also experienced my brain chemistry stabilize. Our bodies dealing with an increasingly toxic environment.
Well, an accelerating pace, in fact. And it's one of the interesting things um, that I found in running health retreats and then eventually fasting retreats as well was when comparing with other people doing similar things, I was often getting better results in less time.
Wow.
And the only variable was location.
Oh,
Interesting, huh? So
very.
the only variable was location, and people who ran retreats in a
Yeah.
city environment simply weren't getting the same results as people who ran retreats in a rural environment.
Yeah.
Um, and the same kind of things. People who ran retreats where there was a lot of other things, sharing with other people, other guests at a big motel or something, weren't getting the same results as a focused, everybody's on the same boat, we're all in here for the
Yeah.
same reason. And so the ever increasingly toxic environment,
Yeah.
uh, yes, it certainly is an issue. And it's interesting to note two things about that. One is that people are sicker today than they've ever been in the history of humanity.
Yeah.
Um, the last generation was the first generation that was that was um, not automatically healthier than their parents.
What, how sad.
Where it used to be, if somebody wearing glasses and somebody who had bad teeth or something, or asthma and psoriasis, they could give birth and the doctor would come out and say, you have a perfectly healthy baby.
And now it's the opposite.
And now the kids, yes, this was the last generation. And now this generation, the kids being born today, are the first generation ever who, at least according to doctors, they're not expected to outlive their parents.
Wow.
Um,
Wow.
and I'm surprised I'm not hearing more about that, in
Yeah.
fact. I'm really surprised because that to me is a very big deal. So,
Absolutely.
so we have people who are less healthy for a variety of reasons.
Sure.
Um, the sedentary lifestyle, the processed foods, the refined foods, um, the lack of physical activity, and on through a number of other things.
Yeah.
The amount of electricity exposure and EMF, and on through the you know phones and
Yeah.
computers, and this is really a it ties in with this loneliness thing, I think, also,
Absolutely.
though, because although it's very nice having a conversation with you, and I can get my head around the idea that you and I, Sarah, are talking with each other,
Right. But it's different.
it's different than being in the same room with somebody. It's
Absolutely.
definitely different than being in the same room with somebody. There's can we call it the vibe?
Yeah. The vibe's
Right?
different for sure.
The energies
Yeah.
are different when two people are sitting across from each other at a table or in a couch or whatever. Um,
Absolutely.
and I combine that with increasingly toxic environment. And what I see is, even in my lifetime, in my experience, people who on average recovered from various conditions, say in 18 days, are now very often taking 24 and 25 days to
Yeah.
recover from the same thing, where I could say, oh, um, used to be a broken bone would heal in 3 weeks. And
Yeah.
then they started talking about 4 weeks.
Wow.
And then when I was shortly out of med school, I started hearing about, well, a lot of people take 6 weeks to heal a broken bone.
And it used to
And
be three?
it used to be 3, and then now I'm hearing 8 weeks for a lot of bone breaks. Oh,
What?
that's going to take 8 weeks to fully heal,
Wow.
which is really scary stuff. And that's just the body's process of
That,
healing,
yeah.
or reversing arthritis or reversing heart disease. I mean, Dr. Esselstyn writing about reversing heart disease, and it's
Yeah.
brilliant stuff. But the response time of the body now is slower than it used to be, even when he wrote his book.
And then you have to think if they're not doing anything different, right, then it has to be environmental causes.
Well, it's environmental causes coupled with less healthy overall individuals. So we're
Yeah,
starting from a less healthy spot
sure.
and then adding the environmental influences, which is why I go into an extremely rural location in Costa
Yeah,
Rica for running a health retreat, or I
sure.
go to a rural location in Bali to run a vitality in paradise
Yeah.
retreat.
And then you
Um,
don't have to worry about as much as you'd have to worry about being closer to the
I just
city.
get my clients get better results this way.
Yeah, that's amazing. So the vegan wellness retreat, we're on 32 acres.
Out in the
Um,
middle, and it's so rural. It's
yeah,
beautiful.
and we're right on the beach, which is amazing. And we'll be this year. It's our first year. We have a lady coming who's going to be doing not only Tai Chi and Qigong, but she's doing some forest bathing, which is really fun. So they'll do like a forest bath hike, I think is what she's calling it. Because even like not only being away from all the chemicals of like a city, but being surrounded by trees and the
Yes,
CO2, there's tons and tons of studies showing how good that is for you.
yeah,
So that's going to
trees.
be,
The oxygen's just dropping out of the trees.
yeah. And then as far as the kids go, and I didn't know that the facts saying like how children are not going to outlive their parents, that's so sad. We have a never before workshop this year. It's called Raising Healthy Children. And it's going to be a few handful of women who have either already raised healthy, mostly raw children, or who are doing it now, talking about things that they're doing so that that doesn't happen, that their kids get to be raised healthy and
Absolutely,
have
long,
really
healthy life.
longevity. So that's going to be super fun. We are very family friendly. We have childcare 12 hours a day. Um, so bring your kids, and there's something also like having your daughter grow up going to retreats and going to festivals and things, Dr. Graham, and having her be around like-minded children. Um, did you see any positive impacts from that?
From being around healthy children.
Yeah, like when she would go to the UK Fruit Fest, or when you would take her to different fests and having her be around other kids who were being raised raw or vegan or
Well, Francesca has expressed many times that the vegan community at the various events we've been to, that's her family. That's the family she knows. That's the people
wow.
she trusts. That's the people she stays in touch with. Um, she has even expressed some challenges in interacting with non-vegan
Yeah,
people, which
wow.
I understand, and this takes practice.
Sure.
I was born eating meat and cheese and dairy, um, and so the I don't condemn those people,
No.
you know, and yet the challenge of giving others enlightenment
Hmm.
remains quite real. How I can get through, um, if I was going to live 50,000 years,
Yeah.
I could take my time about the
Sure.
whole process. But I do feel a tremendous sense of urgency, a
Yeah.
tremendous sense of urgency, um, and simply, I think I know enough that I see what's coming for most people, and my silence endangers them.
Yeah.
So I have a responsibility of
Absolutely.
getting my message out. And so for that, again, I thank you and Chase allowing me a
Yeah.
platform where I can get my message out. And and in many ways, although it's somewhat preaching to the choir, it still um, encourages them for upgrading their program.
Yeah.
And the more they upgrade their program, the more influence they'll have on others.
Yes.
And
It's
it
a whole
just keeps,
cycle.
yeah, the outreach just keeps going.
Yeah. Harriet said, great topic. Lifting off the grid in raw nature sure makes a difference in my athletic performance. So Harriet runs an amazing raw vegan athlete focused, correct? Retreat.
Yes, it'll be the last weekend of October.
And so she's a raw vegan
The
endurance
Raw
athlete.
Nature Retreat.
Yeah. So that's cool that living off the grid helps her performance. And then someone says the conversations are different. I think she's saying like when you're having it with a vegan versus non-vegan. Um, Absolutely. I find that, like we were saying earlier, the vibe's just different.
The vibe's different. Um, as I said at the very beginning, though, I'm emphasizing the similarities between myself
Yeah,
and other people before I attempt forcing anything down their
sure.
throat.
Yeah.
I'd much rather they ask me, um, piquing their curiosity. Gosh, Dr. Graham, how do you manage?
Yeah.
How do you manage to be an elite athlete, a world-class athlete at 72 years old? How do you manage to recover
Let's
so fast?
answer that question. What would you
How do
say?
you manage to be the last one to bed and the first one up pretty much every day of your life?
Wow.
How does that happen? Well, when I went raw, my need for sleep went down by 25%, almost 2 full hours.
Like immediately?
Immediately.
Wow.
Just it was immediately. And I mean it was profound. It was quite noticeable. A lot of things happened what I would call immediately, yes.
Yeah. What about
This
were you an athlete before you went raw vegan?
Yes, I've been an athlete my whole life.
So
I've
what
been
is
an
the
athlete my whole
main
life.
difference that you saw when you went raw vegan in your athleticism?
Well, first of all, recovery improved
Yeah.
dramatically. The recovery was so fast. On-court recovery, short-term recovery, day-to-day recovery, year by year, seasonal recovery, all aspects of recovery improved dramatically, including what's called VO2 max, right? And as I raise my VO2 max, um, it allows me to do more, say on a tennis court, run around a little bit more without
That's
getting
your
so out of
oxygen,
breath.
right?
Yeah, yes. So it's a volume of oxygen. And for instance, I know listening at the moment is Richard Gambino, and
Hi, Richard.
he's
Richard's our produce
our
manager. We
produce
love
manager
Richard.
for sure. And he told me his VO2 max the other day. Now, Richard is no longer a young man. Okay, he's still young at heart and vitally active like anybody else. I think he's training at the moment for a 35-mile, very competitive run
Wow.
through serious hills. I mean, and intense heat.
Wow.
It should be quite something. And yet he told me his VO2 max the other day, I think he said was 52.
Okay. I don't know
Now,
where the scale is. I'm
I'm
assuming that's
about
good.
to explain that, all right?
Okay.
So, so for a man 20 to 25 years old, 52 is considered excellent.
Wow.
For a man Richard's age,
Yeah.
32 is considered very good.
Wow.
42 is wow,
Yeah.
excellent. And 52 is elite athlete. So
Wow.
this is a man who he trains hard and he works hard,
Yeah.
uh, but the results are there. The oxygen carrying capacity of his blood
Hmm.
is elite athlete. Now he's a farmer. He farms all day. Um, does he train? Yes, he trains, but it's not his life.
Right.
Training isn't his life. He just trains because it's fun.
Well, do you know the science behind why someone who would be raw vegan, specifically low fat raw vegan,
Low fat vegan, sure, and I'll
why their
explain that.
oxygen would be higher?
And that's what I'll be explaining at the Vegan Wellness
Oh,
Retreat.
yay. So
Exactly that.
everyone has to come to your talk.
Exactly that. Because everyone benefits in the same way.
Yeah.
The competitive athlete benefits because he becomes more competitive, right? He
Sure.
becomes the winning athlete. But all of us get the same benefits. Doesn't matter whether I'm raking the leaves or going for a walk with the dogs. I
Yeah.
still get the health benefits and the performance benefits that any athlete would get. Um, and it's funny, as I was talking earlier about the urgency, the sense of urgency. A lot of people say, well, I'll wait until I need it.
Yeah.
And I go, well, that's a little late to start
Yeah.
thinking about it.
Then you have to backpedal.
On almost any area of life, it's a little late to start thinking about it.
Sure.
Now, I understand. I've done my homework, and vegetarians live longer than mainstreamers by about 8 years, and vegans live about 7 years longer than that on average.
Yeah.
No studies have been done on raw fooders.
No.
The statistics can't possibly be in yet. There's only a few people on the planet that grew up as raw fooders.
Yeah.
So those studies haven't yet happened, but the consensus so far is that raw food is as big a step beyond vegan. Raw
Yeah.
vegan's as big a step beyond vegan as vegan is to vegetarian and vegetarian is to mainstream.
And then
These
I
are
would go as
these are
far as
big
to
steps
say,
in terms of longevity, in terms of clarity of mind, um, activity of lifestyle. Like I say, everybody I train with is a lot younger than
yeah,
me, and I train just as hard as they do.
sure.
Uh, and
Would you
they
say like
they
on
wonder
top,
why,
so
how.
it goes vegetarian, then vegan, then raw vegan, but I would go as far as to say as then 80-10-10 low fat raw vegan.
Is another step yet again.
Yeah.
And there's excellent science for supporting it, and it's fun for me explaining that science.
Yeah.
Some of which I learned before I went raw vegan.
Wow.
Um, well, I mean, I was in grammar school and they started teaching me that fruits and vegetables are the best foods for me,
Oh, I love the story.
right? Like that
Yeah.
was the best. That was the best. Um, and and on through my schooling, I learned a lot of the science that supported. Oh well, all the antioxidants are in the fruits and vegetables, and all the essential amino acids are in fruits and vegetables. I mean, all this stuff was there.
Yeah.
And then once I went raw vegan, in an effort, um, in an effort for explaining it to others, I learned more science.
Wow.
Right. So it's fun for me, that learning, because it gives me more ammunition,
Sure.
more clear explanations, better able to reach different people with different rationales. Why is it the best for a businessman? Why is it the best for an athlete? Why is it the best for a cancer client? Why is it, or any of the autoimmune conditions or so-called,
Yeah.
I'm going to say so-called autoimmune, since apparently, as far as I can tell, they're all lifestyle related.
Yeah. That's what they should be
Right.
called. Lifestyle
Self
diseases.
self-inflicted.
Yeah.
Autoimmune, sort of like, as I said, it takes away the sense of being responsible for oneself.
Yeah. Instead of saying that you gave it to yourself, it sounds a lot nicer saying, I have an autoimmune disease.
Yes,
Yeah.
it sure does. It's easier to tell others about it
Yeah.
than to say, well, I mean, I
I don't
screwed up my
have
liver.
I don't have the pizza fried chicken disease. I have
Hmm.
MS or something. You know what I'm saying?
I don't have the obesity disease.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, athletic excellence isn't just about the trophies. Yes, winning is fun, and the trophies that are behind you and the medals are fun.
Yeah.
Um, but it's about building a body that supports confidence, independence, and supports the being that you want to be, leave the mark on the world that you want to leave, help everyone in the process. So if someone wants to lead by example this year, what would the first step be that you would encourage them to take?
Write things down. Um, Measure whatever you treasure. Um, I measure that which I treasure. I keep track of things. I write things down. That which I write down um, improves, and that which I write down and report to others improves even faster.
Wow.
So when I keep it all to myself, I can slow myself down. When I report to others, I speed myself up.
Interesting.
I speed my results in anything I measure,
Wow.
everything. So I measure what I treasure, and whether that's bank account or relationships or sports performance. I mean, every runner measures their
Yeah.
sports performance, right? They keep track of their time. The lifters keep track of their weights. Everybody
Yeah.
knows. The tennis players and the baseball players, they know their statistics.
Sure.
They treasure it,
Yeah.
and so they measure it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. Amazing advice. Well, Dr. Graham, where can people find you if they want to
At
learn
the
more
Vegan
about you?
Wellness Retreat.
Yes. Come to the Vegan Wellness Retreat.
Come say hello at the Vegan Wellness Retreat. They can find me on foodandsport.com.
Okay.
It's the word food, the letter N like Nancy, my sister, and sport, foodandsport.com. It's 10 letters. If you didn't do it with 10, you got it wrong. It's not and,
Okay.
it's just the letter N. Food and
Perfect.
sport. They can go to foodandsport.com, find out about my upcoming retreats. I'm going to be, I think this year I'm at 14 or 15 different retreats,
Wow.
um, including 2 of my own. I'll be supervising a fast in Costa Rica and an intern program there for people who are interested in learning how health happens.
Yeah.
Um, and then, of course, my Vitality in Paradise next November in Bali. I'm actually going to join forces in Bali with Janelle Burgess, who has been on my staff for 20 years on and
Wow.
off.
Yeah.
She's a professional dancer, and she's going to run a dance retreat in Bali
Oh,
and have
cool.
me as an instructor. I'm not teaching dance. No,
Oh,
I'll be
darn it.
teaching health. Sorry, I know a bit about it, but no, that's not me. Um, and then she will come to my Vitality in Paradise retreat to teach dance and other movement forms at the
Awesome.
retreat. Yeah, it's really awesome. I'm very excited for those 2 weeks in Bali. But I'll be at, as far as I know, all the major fruit festivals
Yeah.
this year. I don't know if there's any that I'm missing. If
Yeah.
I am, I'm sorry about that, but I'm going to be at least at more than a dozen of them,
That's
and
amazing.
helping to
Harriet,
organize a couple new ones. It's very
Harriet wants to
exciting
know
time.
when the next Vegan Wellness Retreat is. It's in June
Yes,
14th through the 18th, and you have a code for people who want to join.
absolutely.
So if you want his code, you can send him a message, or do you want me to tell him what it is?
You can tell them.
It's Health 100 or Graham
I
100? Do
thought it
you
was
know it?
Dr. Graham 100. I
Dr.
think it's
Graham 100.
Graham. I think it's
Graham.
Graham 100.
Graham 100. So you put a Graham
Graham
100 in,
100.
you'll get $100 off.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I forgot something. Dr. Graham also has a Q&A. It's going to be 10 people only boat ride. It's included in your ticket. There's only
Mm-hmm.
3 spots left. So if you want like a once in a lifetime opportunity to be on a boat on the beautiful waters of northern Michigan with
We're
Dr.
gonna have
Graham and
fun.
ask him any questions you want.
I'll teach you a
Um,
new game while you're out on the boat with me.
there you go. Make sure you sign up and go book that boat ride right on the website, veganwellnessretreat.com. Any other questions? Let's see.
No, it's a ton of fun, Sarah, and I'm really, really looking forward to seeing you and all the friends. Coming back to a familiar place makes it
Yeah.
even. It's so much more functional
Yes.
once you go back to the same place.
Exactly. And everyone
It's
knows where things are and it runs so much
so
smoother.
smooth. Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. So smooth.
Well, we can't wait to have you back. We can't wait for all of you to join us. If you have any questions for myself or for Dr. Graham, send us a message. And we hope to see you in June. It's going to be our biggest retreat yet, and it's filling up super, super quick. We still have a handful of volunteer spots left. So if you want a reduced rate, You can go right on the website and sign
Well,
up for a volunteer spot as well.
I've got to think about that, but I think yours coming to you directly from national championships.
Oh,
I think I
so you
go to
have to bring your
national
first place
championships
medal.
the week before, and then go straight to you. And then I have a couple more weeks before Worlds. So
Awesome. Oh,
and
Harriet
what?
says June will be perfect just a few weeks before my 500 km run. Yay!
She's
Hope you come, Harriet. We would love to
Harriet's the
join
best
have
in
you
the
join
world.
us.
Harriet is the best in the world, man. She holds a very high standard.
Well, we hope you come,
Anybody that doesn't
Harriet.
know Harriet, come to a raw nature. I mean,
Yeah.
there's nothing like that retreat. It's very focused, very small, intentionally small for personal attention. Typically 16 people,
Okay.
and for people who have any desires at improving their athletic performance, that's the place to do it.
Amazing. And
Yeah.
Dulce, super excited to see you soon as well. Dulce is one of our managers. She's
Yay!
awesome. So yeah, thank you for being here today. This
It's
was a
my
super
treat.
fun
Totally my
chat
treat.
about
Thanks for making the
longevity.
time and the opportunity. It's a real treat.
Absolutely.
Anybody wants consulting, improve their own health, overcome those autoimmune conditions,
Yeah.
I'm the guy.
Yes, absolutely. And I will see you soon. And thank you again.
Fantastic, Sarah.
Happy
Thanks
New
again.
Year.
Thanks again. Happy New Year, everybody.
Bye.
Bye bye.